Here we go, game week 2 Premier League predictions. Let's get straight into it. Now we have Nottingham Forest versus Sheffield United as the first game, and this will be a good match between the two. So Forest actually looked fairly decent in their first game. They lost 2-1 to Arsenal, and Gibbs White, the standout player, Awani as well, scored after being subbed on, and Sheffield United didn't have the best start. They lost to Palace 1-0 in the first game week, and they didn't do too good for their first game, but Osula, a young talented player who played for them, he looks pretty good. But I think overall Sheffield United struggled. But prediction for this game is going to be a 2-1 win for Nottingham Forest. Now we move on to Fulham versus Brentford. Now it's going to be a great clash between two pretty good sides in my opinion. And Fulham didn't play too well in their last game. They did win 1-0 versus Everton, though Pereira was a great player in that game. And Marco Silva, a class manager for sure. And Brentford are a great side. They finished I believe 10th or 9th last season, and Tony is still banned. Unfortunately, that's a big blow for them, but this Brentford team is super underrated as well, and they drew 2-2 with Spurs. They countered Spurs very well in their game. And my prediction for this Fulham versus Brentford game is a 1-1 draw. Now we have Wolves versus Brighton. Now Brighton should dominate this game. They look like a dangerous team at the moment. Play such great football. Managed to get Europa League football, and they lost Caicedo and McAllister, but they still have a lot of talents in their team, and Wolves do look really good as well. Just based off their first game, they appointed Gary O'Neill as the new coach, and they had a great game against Man United. Just couldn't get the ball in the net, that was the only problem, but I believe they did deserve the win, and probably a team to look out for sure. They could finish around 10th or 11th spot maybe, but my prediction is gonna be a 2-1 win for Brighton. Now we move on to Liverpool versus Bournemouth. This could be a surprising match. Liverpool do look good this season. They played Chelsea in their last game, but played well 20 to 30 minutes in that game, and then they got kind of lost after that. But the midfield does look decent, and Bournemouth do look okay as well. They played West Ham last game. They managed to draw 1-1, and they've got a new coach in Andoni Iraola. They signed Max Aarons from Norwich as well as their right back, and they played decent against the Hammers. But the prediction for me for this game is gonna be a 3-1 win for Liverpool. Now we have a huge game, or kinda huge, Tottenham versus Manchester United. Now this is gonna be a very good matchup, probably one of the best ones this week, and Tottenham look like a completely new side. Angie has the side playing attacking football, and Son was appointed as the new captain before their first game, and they did lose Kane to Bayern. He left to Bayern this past week, but they played an okay, Man United played a okay match versus Wolves. They look good on paper, but it all matters what they could do on the pitch. And the midfield was honestly getting ran through though. Mount struggled in that game, and they did win 1-0 though. Performances will improve for them in my opinion. It was just the first game of the season, so it might take a few games for them to get back to how they were playing in the last few games of last season, but we will see how it goes. And my prediction actually for this game is going to be a 2-1 win for Tottenham. The biggest game of the week, Manchester City versus Newcastle. This is going to be a huge game. Man City are obviously dangerous. They are the treble winners, and Haaland already has 2 goals in his first game, and they could win the Prem once again, honestly. Looking very, very dangerous, as I said. Newcastle also look great, starting off the season with a 5-1 win. They beat Villa 5-1. That's very, very impressive. And Isak looking great, and also Harvey Barnes. And they are in the Champions League this season as well, so it's going to be interesting to see how they do. And my prediction is going to be a 2-2 draw between those two sides. Well, Aston Villa versus Everton, this will be a fairly interesting game. Aston Villa looks strong on paper. They brought in a few players this summer like Paul Torres, Tielemans, Diaby. They did get destroyed by Newcastle 5-1. Everton look a bit they look kind of similar to last season, players wise, but they did play well against Fulham, and they just didn't manage to get goals, similar to Wolves. Maybe they do have a chance to stay up this season. They do need a goal scorer though. That's the problem for them. And my prediction is gonna be a 3-1 win for Aston Villa. West Ham versus Chelsea. I see this game being intense. Now West Ham they did have a pretty good game last game, and they drew 1-1 against Bournemouth, and Bowen scored a absolute banger outside the box, a curler top corner, fantastic. And West Ham were looking at Maguire, but I heard that he is going to stay at Manchester United, and Bowen is probably one of the best players, if not the best player at West Ham. On to Chelsea. Now Chelsea look great on paper. They played amazing against Liverpool. That game was a absolute great one to watch, and Jackson does look like a promising player. Enzo Fernandez was very good against Liverpool as well, so they do have potential to maybe get into a Europa League spot, or even if they want to aim even higher, top 4, but I think that's going to be tough for them this season. But my prediction is going to be a 2-1 win for Chelsea. Now the last game we have is Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. I expect Arsenal to win this game. Now Crystal Palace have started the season well, played Sheffield in the last game, and they beat them 1-0, which is good. And Eze and Olise, obviously the stars of the team in my opinion. They are fantastic, those players, fantastic, have a lot of potential as well, and Crystal Palace could finish better than last season in my opinion. Just depends on how they go throughout the season, but we will see. On to Arsenal. Arsenal did look dominant in the first game, and Timber looked amazing. Unfortunately, he is injured, and Saka as well. Saka scored a banger, and I really hope Arsenal could win the league this season. And Arsenal beat Forest 2-1 actually, and we have great depth for sure, so hopefully we do well in the Premier League, and hopefully we win the Premier League trophy as well. So my prediction is going to be a 3-1 win for Arsenal. Now thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to drop a like, comment down below what your predictions are. I will definitely check them out. And don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.